So, we are talking about the Premier League season so far. And one of the stories we wanted to cover was who do we think, based on the performance so far, is likely to win the league this season. We can narrow it down to two teams. Stefan, you think it's going to be...
I'm going with Liverpool.
Liverpool. Jack, you think it's going to be...
It won't be as close, but it'll be City again. Liverpool will come second, but no, it won't be as close. City will win it again at a canter. They'll have it won by Feb.
Does Newcastle have a chance?
Of what?
Relegation, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah, again.
I think whenever we talk about relegation, I think we should wait till February for Newcastle. But the Man United game that we watched the other day, Daniel James, I guess, was a highlight. He scored in the 89th minute. Looked like they were going to win.
Daniel James or Daniel?
Daniel.
You said it again. Daniel James.
Daniel James.
Daniel James.
Yeah.
Daniel James
Diver
is fit, you know.
or rated?
Huh?
Diver?
I rate him. I think there's a hell of a player in there. It's whether we can get it. He's Welsh, isn't he? Is he Welsh? Yeah.
What team did he come from? Swansea?
Swansea, yeah.
Swansea, yeah.
Was it Swansea? Yeah, well, he's absolutely rapid as well.
He's a...
Absolute afterburners. Well, you want to talk about Nicolas Pepe, don't you? Come on.
Well, if you want to bring it up...
Let's wrap up the Man United
you
one
want-
first.
He's itching to talk about Pepe's head. I was like,
What positives could
he's quick, is he?
Obviously, so Man United had 78% possession, if I remember correctly, and they had 3 shots on target, which was the same as Palace.
Shots on
What
target,
positives
possession.
can they take from that game?
None. They lost the game.
Surely there must be some positives in a loss.
Not in that loss.
They lost
not
the game.
way they lost.
They lost the game at home to Crystal Palace in the last minute of the game when they were losing for the entirety of the match, more or less. The positives they can take from the game is no one got injured. They need to sort it out.
What lessons can they learn, do you reckon?
They've spent £80 million on a defender and it still hasn't clicked yet. And I know, obviously, we talked about projects and it's still been the start of it, but I cannot see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I don't see what his motive is. I think he's just trying to copy what everyone else has done. It seems very sort of... It reminds me of playing manager mode on FIFA. Ooh, one team has paid 75 mil for a defender. I'm going to do that. They bought Harry Maguire. And then, one team's got an interchangeable front three. I'm going to try and do that without any basis. Who have they got in midfield now? They've got Pogba. Still don't know what...
McTominay.
Still don't know what best position Pogba's is.
Yeah.
Still don't know that. They've got Juan Mata. What's Juan Mata still doing there? Why isn't it?
I think he's a season over what he needs to be there. I think he's one...
Couple seasons.
seasons over
And
his
then-
time there.
I just don't understand what the...
So yeah, you mentioned stuff about rebuilding because we were talking earlier and you said the difference between Man City
you
and Arsenal.
shouldn't rebuild a football club or a football team with a manager that managed to get Cardiff relegated. And has been, let's be honest, it's not like he got Cardiff relegated and he's gone and ploughed his time in the Championship or maybe gone to France, Germany or something, or done something with got a mid-table team. He was doing it in Norway. And did he even win the league in Norway?
So hang on, are we
Did
saying...
he win the league?
It's
in Norway?
So the point I was making just before Jack
It's
made
day
that
for like
point
3 weeks there, isn't it?
was Manchester United are in a certain phase which you could say is rebuilding because we talked about Arsenal and Man City, and Man City seem more established and Arsenal are in the rebuilding phase. What phase is Manchester United in?
I wouldn't even say they're in a rebuilding phase because when you the house got blown up when Fergie left. No. Fergie left the house, handed over the keys to David Moyes. The house started falling down a little bit, and it's just gradually just kept on falling down since David Moyes. I haven't even got a house at the minute.
Okay, here's a controversial point.
I look at it this way: they're trying to rebuild their house, and instead of actually going to a building and going, right, I need you to build my house for me. Can you do that for me? Instead of doing that, they've got all this cash, and they're just throwing the cash at the house. And then they're going, why isn't my house
But
built
how many
yet?
players have they really bought though? Like you're saying, they've just spent
Are you
80
joking?
million
They've
on one
spent
player.
Are you joking?
400 million.
Are you
They've spent the
joking?
money.
Okay.
Angel Di Maria,
Fred.
come and gone.
Oh, so you're talking about since Fergie left?
Yeah,
I thought
just
about this season, right?
rebuild-
Yeah, of
how
course,
long
Within
can
the
we
last
talk
couple
about?
of seasons,
Yeah.
Fred was 50, 60 million, something like that, and he doesn't even get a game.
So is it a case of
The rapper
using,
that was at Leon now. What's his name?
using the rapper?
Yeah, he raps as well. Can't remember his name. Is it Leon? Was in France or something.
The
I think
Dutch
he had
guy.
number 7. Yeah, number 7. Yeah, the Dutch guy.
Dutch
Can't
guy.
remember his name.
Anyway.
Depay.
Yeah,
Memphis
Memphis
Depay,
Depay. Yeah, Memphis Depay. So,
Yeah, they
So
pied
if-
enough, didn't they?
so don't you think then, if Manchester United has spent close to £500 million, haven't won nothing?
They won the Europa.
Yeah, with Mourinho. who only actually did a semblance of a good job there until everyone got bored of him. Well, no, or everyone got bored of him and he got bored. So he
Are
just
we
thought,
actually giving credibility to the Europa Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Why?
European. It's a,
Oh,
cup,
Arsenal
mate.
fan, of course. It makes sense. Like you kind of, and this is no disrespect to Arsenal fans, but
You can't disrespect
whatever.
Arsenal fans. You're a Newcastle fan.
You're absolutely right. I don't think anyone could disrespect Arsenal, but I think Arsenal, for me, a tournament or a trophy is valuable as long as they're in it. But if they're not, then something above is
Same as
that's
every
just
club, though,
bullshit.
innit? It's
No,
the same
no,
as every
no.
club
But
football.
Arsenal's in particular. Arsenal used to be happy with like just being the Champions League. I was like, well, maybe the UEFA Cup isn't so bad.
No, because we're always screwed at the UEFA.
How?
Because we went too far in the Champions League and never got to go into it. You know how when you lose in the early rounds of Champions League,
Yeah,
you get to go
yeah,
to Europa.
yeah,
We
yeah.
never had that, so we never got the chance to win
Yeah.
either trophy. But yeah, the Europa's, it's not a big trophy.
Mhm.
It's like when we lost in the final to Chelsea.
Yeah.
My dad's cussed me going, "Oh, you lost in the final." I said, "You lost to Liverpool. He's a Spurs fan." He's like, "Yeah, but you." I was like, "It's like me losing a tenner and you losing 100 quid. Who's gonna be more annoyed about that?" But it's still a trophy. It's still something to say you've won. Like Spurs ain't
You
won
can
nothing.
celebrate,
Yeah. So, going back to Man United, do you think it's a case of watching their neighbours, noisy neighbours if you want to call them, spend their way to trophies and thinking we should do that?
No, it's
Man-
a case of football runs in cycles. They're done now. It's finished.
They did.
They're dead. It's finished. And I'm sick of. And what I'm sick of, tired of hearing from Man United fans. And I really hope we get one in. Is Man United, it's so shit. You've had your time. It's finished. Move on. It's done.
Hang on.
That cycle's done now. It's finished. The Fergie time is over.
Are you
are never going to get
genuinely-
back to that. They're never going to get back to that. Football has changed now. They are too far behind. You look at City, Liverpool, who are already streets ahead of Spurs, who I'm going to say it, are streets ahead of Man United. They're behind. They're lagging behind. They're the fat kid at the back who didn't bother with athletics anymore.
So that's a bold statement. To
It's a
think
bold statement, but it's true.
You really believe Man United are quote unquote done out here, as they say?
Well, can you see them winning the league in the next 5 years?
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
The next
You
5
cannot
years?
base it off 2 or 3 performances this season. Do you remember last season?
No, I'm basing it off since
Last
Fergie
year.
left.
How many years?
How long has it taken Liverpool to get to this point now? It's taken. How long has it taken them to get to the point where they?
There is-
By the way, they won the Champions League, but they didn't
Okay.
win the league. How long has it taken them?
A long time.
There you go. Then. So yeah,
However,
Man United are done. And the other thing is, Man United. It's not the same as Newcastle United in the sense of the way they're being run,
Yeah.
but the Glazers run Manchester United similarly to how Mike Ashley runs Newcastle United. Cash
Wow.
money. Then who does?
Wow.
Spend the money.
I'll
Spend the
tell
money.
you-
He's not bothered.
No, but they've.
The
I'll
Glazers aren't
respond-
bothered
I'll-
about winning stuff.
That-
The
that's-
Glazers aren't bothered about
That's
winning
not a
stuff.
good argument because they have spent.
Yeah,
money.
yeah, that's what I mean. But they have spent. Yeah, but they've spent money, but they are not bothered about winning anything.
I'll tell you
Whereas
why-
Man City, Liverpool want to win things. Glazers couldn't give a shit.
I tell you why I think Man United are not finished.
Why?
Because there's a lot of scrutiny on Man United, which I think is affecting some of the players who are world class.
Oh,
Pogba is world
fuck
class.
off.
No. Honestly, Jack,
Excuse my
it's a good
French.
point. There are many players in that team. They're not a
Finished.
team yet, and they might be rebuilding, but they have some superstar players who, if they start gelling and working together, they can take on any of the other 19
What that team?
teams.
This team.
The set of players. I'm not saying it's
If Manchester
a complete
United,
team.
if Manchester United achieve, I'm going to say it on camera as well, achieve more than 4th this year, I'll shave my head. I'll go bald.
If Manchester United achieve more than 4th in the 2019-20 Premier League season, Janicki will shave his head. You heard it here first. You heard it here.
Scouts on, I'll
You
shave
heard
my
it.
head. They are
I
done.
can't root for Man U.
I don't
I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted.
I do not understand how you.
I look
think,
like Uncle Fester for 3 months.
I do not understand how you think a team with that squad.
Because they have.
Do you, no,
What,
but
it's
do you
what
finished.
squad?
Do you rate that
What
squad?
squad? What squad?
Yeah.
Really?
Who? Lingard? Who is he?
Pogba.
Pogba,
Pogba's good, yeah.
their goalkeeper. You can say whatever you
Goalkeeper's been dog shit
Done.
for 2
want.
years.
No, hang on.
No, he has. Yeah.
Did you see the goal against what's the Man City goalkeeper?
I saw the goal Palace scored. I would have saved that.
I don't.
Shut
And
up. I
I
would
may
have saved that
struggle
goal.
to articulate it because I'm not a Man United fan, but I also refuse to accept that
They're
Manchester
done.
United are done.
Yeah, but you
I don't-
can't.
I
You
don't
can't
believe
just
it
say
is.
it on theory because they haven't got the players to compete. If they brought in players, yeah,
I look at
you could
Chelsea's
compete,
squad.
but you got to look.
I
at,
look at Chelsea's squad now already.
Sorry,
you
what
got
was
to
that?
look at the fact that they struggle to get players in.
Yeah, and that as well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
nobody wants to go to Man U anymore.
Dybala rather talk to Spurs and turn them down than even bother talking to Manchester United.
I just find it ridiculous how we're arguing that a team with that squad would think it's over when 2-3 seasons ago a squad like
Dama.
Leicester could win the league.
Dama, years and years ago, Nottingham Forest were winning the bloody European Cup every year.
Yeah,
Where are they now?
Yeah.
Football runs in cycles. They are done. It's finished. It's moving on now. Times have changed. Times have changed.
That's a bolder statement that I would make, but I get what he's saying.
I just think they've just had a series of bad managers. I think the fact that you
does that not tell you as well?
No.
Does that not tell you the way they're being run by who's owning the clubs running them badly?
It's in addition to my point. I'm elaborating on the point that it's not the players, it's the team. Who's selecting it? Who's doing the positions?
You can say that about every football club.
That's the manager. But that's the manager.
Well, you're Atkinson
Ole
Stanley
Gunnar
right now.
Solskjaer, when he came in, remember he was only a temporary manager, but for some reason he won 3 or 4 games and they went, right, it's yours. He's not ready.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't think the club. I do not think the club's
what
over.
suggests to me that they're done is, it's taken them. We're still here, and they're still talking about Alex Ferguson. He's still a shadow that hangs over him.
But the thing is, they were talking about
They've had ample opportunity to get it right and challenge, and they haven't challenged since he left.
But the previous managers who were legends at Manchester United, they still speak about them till this day. Fergie had to Busby's babes. They still speak about them till
Fergie's overtook that now.
Yeah, exactly. So someone has to come to be as big as Fergie to get rid of that narrative about Busby's
I don't think
babes.
we'll see it again in our lifetime. I'm saying it. I don't think we'll see it
Maybe
again
someone
in our
said that
lifetime.
about Busby, and then Fergie came over.
Someone
Probably said it about an old Arsenal manager, and then Wenger came through. But so anyway, that's on Man United.
Yeah, how many
they
years was that?
lost
It was like 20 odd years.
26.
26 years.
What has it been, 10 years since Fergie left? We're still talking about United getting back to the good times.
No, it's 2019 now. I don't think it's been 10 years. 2013. 6 years. He's only been gone for 6 years.
Only been gone 6 years. A lot can happen in 6 years, mate.
So, okay, so that's Man United. Jack thinks that they're done out here, as they say.
Well, they are. What have they haven't shown anything?
So, racism is back. Racism in football is
Never
back.
left.
Dun, dun, dun. And the Prime Minister of Black People, John Barnes, has been on Sky News saying
Well,
that
didn't
unless you get rid of...
so confused.
Same lighting.
Yeah.
So, the Prime Minister of Black People has been on Sky News saying that you cannot get rid of racism in sports as long as you don't get rid of racism in society. John Barnes, this is the same John Barnes that said Liam
on the line.
This is the same John Barnes that said that Liam Neeson should be getting an award for saying that there was a time when he thought, oh, I wish a nigga would. That's facts. So, what do we think about this new outrage?
We think, can we get Ja Rule back?
Yeah.
Give us advice.
What's it Ja Rule thing? Somebody please call Ja Rule 9/11. Give a fuck what Ja Rule thinks. Here's what I think, right? I don't believe that there are people who care enough to eradicate racism in sports. I'm looking at it.
But you only have to look at, I'm not talking about England, but...
And I'll elaborate on to before you continue. So, kick it out. Fair play, all these initiatives, they've existed for decades. And
give racism the red card.
There you go.
3-match ban.
So what happens is clubs are not prioritising that kind of discrimination because to them it's whatever, it's only just a few troublemakers, give them a few bans and move on. So my question is, what do you think a club should do if you are found or heard chanting racist?
Ban for life. You're banned for life. And then I think it moves past what the clubs should do about the fans. I think the club should ban the fans for life. But if a club is found guilty of a fan and racist chanting, that kind of thing,
how can you find
next home match, that club, they play their match behind closed doors.
So
you'll stop it there and then. Because fans will go, well, we can't do that because then we're not going to watch football.
So what if you always have those trolls? That always want to do something. What if you have rival fans going there in the shirt and then shouting out stuff?
But then with the shock factor, it will happen so much later on, it's not even worth doing it anymore because fans will do it to us, it will stop it.
I've heard some disgraceful things at a football match. It ain't ever going to stop. It's not going to change.
The only thing will stop it is if
John
fans
Barnes, is that you?
But
John Barnes, is that you?
No, that reality.
Stuff that will stop it is other fans calling out there and then to them, like that's not on.
Yeah,
but when you're in
the
that
most
pressure...
I've had at a football match was when I went to Wembley Stadium and the guy told me to sit down. I was like, "Are you joking? I paid 60 quid to come in and tell him to sit down."
But do you think that fan-to-fan policing works? Because most of the time, like it just makes the atmosphere really awkward. Like
it
it
should be awkward.
Not for the racists, but for the people who are like, because there will be the most decent people stay silent. There's a people that says that's not on, shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And then
what
they
is
just
the
don't say
famous
anything.
Martin
But-
Luther
but-
King saying?
But
When good men do nothing, evil
that
prospers.
will change people's
Perception.
and people.
If someone goes,
and-
mate, that's not on.
Yeah, if there's 20,000 people shouting at him, shut up, you're an
Yeah,
idiot.
no, that I agree with. But right
And
now
it's not, and it's never, and it's
20,000,
never a
yeah.
majority. It's a minority. So if someone shouts something out racist or chucks a banana, what is that about?
Okay.
You're going to
That's-
stop it.
All right. So
we need to make the place so toxic for people like that, so they don't want to turn up,
by doing
or
what?
they want to kick, fucking having a go at them, or steaming through them,
What do you mean? What do you mean steaming through?
beating them up.
What
There comes a
does that
point.
solve?
There comes a point. I don't advocate violence, but there comes a point where I'm sorry if you're going to chat shit like that. Chat shit, get banged in the words of Jamie Vardy. If you're going to keep doing it, if you're not going to shut up doing that, I'm going to punch you in the face.
Okay. Then you get banned for life.
Pardon?
Though. Then you get banned for life.
Well, no, but the club's not going to back me up for going against a racist. It's not a club I want to support.
Okay, so that's in the grounds, but what we're seeing now, most of it is online. How would you combat that? How would you combat racism against professional sports
As I said, it's
personalities on the
people
internet?
having to identify themselves. It's simple.
You think
If you-
ID verification on social networks?
I think we've touched on this before. People are more, and this is why they have fake accounts, they're more afraid of the label racist than actually performing racist acts.
Yeah.
So the shame of being in the paper, being called racist, you know that's what the people, they're like, I'm not racist.
That
I'm
guy
not
that
ra-"
we got caught for screaming at Raheem Sterling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless of
Well, it wasn't
regardless
racist.
of what he
Still, when you
did,
got caught, what you're saying, you shouted, still pretty awful.
regardless of what he did, what scared him and what damaged his life was the label, you're racist. So what did he do? Immediately, I have to defend that.
Yeah.
They're calling me a racist. I'm not a racist. So having these people being identified is the first step. You can't hide anymore. We know
But
you
with
are.
a lot of it, even with the fake accounts, they're getting them.
What do you think is the
They're
second
finding
step?
them.
What after that? What do you think? So just like let's say
Beating them up in the house. No, I'm joking.
let's say you're online and Rashford misses a penalty and you see someone says, "Oh, these fucking woggers just fucking done it again. My club's just full of them. Fucking niggas this, fucking niggas that." Oh, okay, it's Fred in the shed from number 2.
Why are you
X
paying?
Street.
Why are you paying his wages then and turning up every week? You idiot.
I'm just what I'm
No,
getting
no,
at
he's-
was like,
he's
do
saying,
you?
what's
So
the next step?
we know it's
so
Fred.
now you just, and this is gonna sound really ridiculous. Exposure is the key.
Expose him.
Look over social media who
Yeah.
that guy
Yeah.
is. He will soon stop talking.
I mean,
Because I guarantee he's got a couple
Yeah.
black mates.
Yeah.
I guarantee he knows black people that don't know that he's this person
Yeah.
online and says these stuff. You expose them,
Yeah.
then it's, oh, I can't do it anymore because now people know who I am. People are only doing it. Do you think that these people would say that to a black guy on the street?
No, of course not.
He ain't saying a word.
Yeah.
He's just face to face. He's saying it because he's got a shield of anonymity. And so basically it's just like, I can say whatever I want because nobody knows who I am.
I heard it on the train one time. It's like this was years ago. I was coming back from London, and I remember some guy trying to explain Twitter to his mate. He goes, "Oh, you need to be on it, man. You can just fucking just say anything to celebrities. I fucking love it." And I'm thinking, wow, people actually revel in the fact that they can just send abuse to people. And then someone said something recently. It was like, angry men like Twitter because they can shout at Diane Abbott. And I was just pissing myself. It's just the idea that, oh, you're fucking shouting, Corbyn's missus. And it just seems to be a place where people go to get angry. And I think,
and then you think loads of people agree with you. But, it's not.
but here's the kicker. I think we give it too much credibility. It's a subset of society. It doesn't reflect the wider football fan base.
I'll
It doesn't
take-
reflect
but I
wider
do take that point. But I
societies
do
at
take
all.
that point. But when you're the human being at the end of that phone, it's constantly being bombarded with abuse from accounts. Then it's serious.
Oh, I absolutely accept it, but I'm just saying when these things
But I think
trend
we need to
and
stress-
they
I think we need
go
to-
on to another level,
But we need to
we
stress
tend to give
with social
Twitter
media
too much credit.
with
Say,
kids
there's
and
60
even
million
adults.
people on that.
It's not free reign. Just because you said it on there doesn't mean you haven't said it. Like it's exactly the same as shouting that at someone in the
Yeah.
street.
And it's a crime now.
Calling
isn't it?
someone,
the Malicious
calling someone a
Communications
filthy
Act.
wog for drinking a mojito can on a train, just because you said it on Twitter doesn't mean it's not as bad. Oh, only types it out. It's exactly the same. Just like if you
These
wrote that in
people-
leaflets and threw it out on the street,
these people
you're going to get in
know it.
trouble.
These people
there's
know
freedom.
it. They know
There's
it.
freedom of speech, but there's no. Sometimes people think that they're free from
I
consequence.
think that's one of our biggest mistakes when we're talking about these things. We don't give these people enough credit, and we're full of excuses for them. They're ignorant. They don't know. They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know exactly
Yeah.
what they're saying. They know exactly why they're
Chuck him
doing
in jail
it.
for a night.
So it's, as I say, exposure.
Yeah.
That's the
Chuck
key.
him in for jail for a night. What'd you go to jail for? I called Diane a W word.
So do you think there should be a racist registry? Like a sports racist registry. So if you want to look up, who are the racist supporters of each club, you can look at who's been convicted of malicious communication or racist
probably would be able
crimes.
to.
Just have a list. So you go on the Chelsea one, you know who they are. You can find them on LinkedIn and say, oh, that's where you work. I didn't realise it's Bob from IT. He's shouting at
But like, because obviously I work in care and stuff.
black players.
There's
and
like
stuff.
there's the DBS checks, like
Yeah.
criminal records bureau checks and stuff like that. Some jobs is not stuff
Yeah.
like that. Maybe if that come in more,
That would,
repercussions for actions.
yeah, but things like that just push racists more into a cave, more into hiding. I got to be
They
more
close
covert.
ranks.
Yeah,
I gotta be
I
covert
prefer
with
them when
that.
they were
They
there.
close
Though.
ranks.
Yeah, exactly.
I prefer them when they're there. Keep them in the cave. I don't see you.
No, I like my racist where I can see
Yeah,
him.
right in front of me.
I just need to know so I know how to treat you. I know, okay, cool. Do you know what?
Because
You're racist,
my
yeah?
thing is as well,
But
you can be racist. I'm tired of these people that saying you can't be racist. There's no place.
What do you mean?
If somebody chooses to be like that, they can. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were giving them the green light.
No,
to be
no.
racist.
I'm
Right,
saying
okay.
they can be like that.
Yeah.
I'm not telling anybody how they should think and how they should behave. If they choose to be like that, they have the right to be like that. As I have the right
But
to
for
be
me,
the opposite.
anyone
But
that
we
feels
have
that-
to be able to say there are consequences
Yeah.
for your
So,
actions.
but like
Absolutely.
exactly as you're
Agreed.
saying, anyone that
Completely
feels that another human being shouldn't exist because of the colour of their skin, creed, religion, people like that should be completely ostracised from the community.
I don't think
I don't
so.
think we're disagreeing. Why not?
Eh?
I think they should be.
Ostracized.
Yeah. Why should,
You
What
should
do you
be-
mean? Put where?
But
As in,
Australia,
you
yeah.
shouldn't. I think you know how they do CIB checks and they do this check. They should
Yeah.
do are you a racist check? I strongly believe
Yeah,
it.
but they try and do that when it doesn't work. That's why we have police. But anyway, so
But I think it's because people's views change, which is why you cannot say, oh, you've had a conviction for racist offences or whatever, or you can't work here.
No,
Because-
it wouldn't necessarily be you can't work it, but like, talk me through what happened there, because that's what happens when you.
Well, then
do
you
it.
have
Exactly.
then you.
What's
make-
this for?
Well,
What did you get that quote? What's it for? You need to tell me about it. Are you going to do it again?
I think they
'Cause that's
do
what
that
happens
with
with
convictions
and stuff.
anyway.
Yeah,
But that's what they do.
But I'm
So it
just
won't make a
saying.
difference because it'll
Yes,
actually
no,
cover,
no,
it'll
no.
cover racism as well. Because
No,
oh,
but
yeah,
then
it was a racist charge.
they have to explain their racism.
And
Which will
what
probably
do
make them a
what
little bit more
You
uncomfortable
as a
with it.
hiring manager, what would you do after that then? Well, okay, I understand.
Well, look at that
You were
argument on its own
drunk.
merits.
Would you say, oh, you were drunk, you didn't know what the
Well,
word...
no, I'd have to wait until to see what that person says.
Yeah. You were drunk, you know what the word jigaboo meant, so I'll let you off.
Or if you see,
Or
I'll see
what if the hiring manager is also racist? Welcome.
And just did a little handshake.
Say, all right, you fit
Like
right
I-
in.
Like I
the
say,
little.
there should be consequences, but
Yeah.
I don't want them ostracized and put more into, because that's what's happened.
They
That's
sometimes
why
close ranks,
society is where we're at now, because everybody's now shouting, you can't say this, you can't say. That's why Brexit happened. Because people said you can't
let's
feel
not
this
talk
way,
about
you can't.
Brexit.
No, but
We
this is what I'm saying. This is how these things start. When you start telling people you can't do this, then they close ranks, so you say it. And
No,
then
I'm
they
not saying you
find
can't
their
say
own
it, but I'm saying if
communities.
you say that, I want nothing to do with you.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
off.
fine.
Yeah.
That's
That's what
literally
I'm saying.
life is. You can have any thought you want, but there's going to be consequences, or I just don't want to deal with you. But I want to know.
Yeah.
I don't want you hiding in a corner over there because the rest of the world don't want you. I want you right here. Okay, I get you.
Okay, so we're not going to resolve racism in sports, but one thing we could make predictions on is this weekend is the first North London derby of the season. Arsenal v Tottenham.
Where
We're
is
an
it?
Arsenal fan
Is it
here.
at Arsenal?
Yeah.
And we've got two Newcastle fans who just beat Spurs.
Just came along for the ride.
Shut up, Steph. So we want your predictions. Head to head, Arsenal and Tottenham.
I'm going to go, my prediction, 3-2 Arsenal.
So your prediction is 3-2
Yeah.
Arsenal's, yeah? So head to head.
3-2 Arsenal. Where's Ozil anyway? What's up with him?
Who cares?
Oh, he's back this weekend, isn't he? He's back, isn't he? Because the security
So-
fears and that.
So head to head, Arsenal Tottenham, 82 to Arsenal, 64 to Tottenham, 52 drawn. So Arsenal's had the upper hand, 11 v 11.
Last season we took 4 points off them.
Yeah, but lately I think it's been tighter, and I think a lot of that record was like maybe many seasons ago, the pre-Harry Kane era.
No, I'm
Probably
talking. I'm just telling you, like last season,
Yeah,
we beat them and drew. They didn't beat us last season.
you did well last
So
season.
no, listen to what I'm saying. So last season,
Did you beat them and draw with them
I'm not
last season,
talking
don't
5
you?
years ago. I'm talking last season.
Okay, 18,
we
19.
beat them and
What's your
drew
prediction?
with them.
Score
I'm saying
prediction.
2-1
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
What's your score
See,
prediction?
based on last season where we beat Man City or whatever, and then they went on to just demolish everyone, and we just beat Spurs, I think Spurs are, we're the kingmakers. We beat you, give you a spanking, and we kind of, it's almost like you just turn into the
We'll
Hulk.
call it a spanking. We'll
So
Yeah,
I
because
think
it's so embarrassing that you
I am
get beat by
going.
Newcastle.
I am going with Tottenham.
What score?
You're just hating.
2-1.
Based on what?
Because Tottenham
Because
seem to be.
Newcastle beat Spurs.
No, Spurs seem stronger than you in the last couple games. Yeah, I know they lost against Newcastle. They lost
In the
against
last
us.
couple of games.
In the last game they lost.
And was it? They drew their last game.
Yeah.
Yeah, drew their
Yeah.
last. So they've
Drew
got
against
1
City.
point
So-
out of 6.
Actually, I changed my reason. I think they're due a win, and
Due a win.
nowhere would be more enjoyable than at your stadium.
Form
so
goes out the
2-1
window
for me
with
because
derbies,
they're
though,
away
doesn't
from home. 2-1. So you're only going to concede 2 goals because I think you defend well and it's your home game. So
Defending
but
well
we'll-
and
we'll give-
conceding 2 goals.
Yeah, but we'll
Oh, we defended well, letting 2 goals.
Jack. Defending poorly is
Conceding 2 goals.
no conceding more than 2 goals.
What?
So we are going to give the Arsenal fan the final say in what you think the score is going to be. And if you're watching this on Sunday, clearly we know who won, or you know who won. We don't. But
I think there's going to be a masterclass from Pepe.
Pepe's
Yeah,
ticking.
Pepe. Aubameyang, Lacazette.
PPP, bang
If
bang.
all 3 of them start, we're banging in more than 2. And Spurs, they're dead out here.
Dead out
They're
here.
dead out here. Like Harry Kane, I've never rated. Poch has never won anything. I don't know why anybody rates him.
it's come close.
There's losing.
Yeah.
If you're not first, you're last. So their new signings, I've not been overly impressed with. The Ericsson.
Ndombele looks good.
No, he's had 1 game. He didn't play last game, did he?
He was injured, wasn't
So
he? He looked good. He looked good against.
But what's
okay.
his name?
City.
Ericsson. There's something going on there where they're not
They
playing
need to
him.
start him because they've got no creativity with him. Creativity.
As long as he's
Creativity.
off the pitch,
Yeah.
I'm even more comfortable because he's their only player.
Awesome. So that's the first episode of our sports themed show that doesn't have a name, but we're just working with it. Thank you to Steph. Thank you to Jack.
Thank you.
Fake Garage alumni, and we'll see you soon.
Before you go.
Oh, we're still rolling.
No, no, it's still rolling, but you don't have to keep this in. Can I ask you 2 a question?
What's that?
There we go.
And this is like a deep. It's not me hating. This is a real
Here
question.
we go.
Now, why do you support Newcastle, and what do you
I
get
was,
out
I
of
was,
it?
I was born in
Don't get
Newcastle.
anything out of it, but yeah.
Yeah, like
Okay,
when
you
the
don't get
season,
anything out of it. How can you say that?
when the season starts,
What do you get out of
what are you
supporting
looking
Newcastle?
forward to?
I feel a sense of civic pride and a connection with my birthplace. That's the reason why I support Newcastle.
I wasn't born there.
You
I
better
just,
come up
I
with
just
a-
liked the kit when I was a kid. I just liked the kit as a kid.
I'm
you know?
stuck with it.
I just liked the kit as a kid and I didn't want to support Man United. 'Cause everyone-
Are you serious?
Man United are dead out here.
So, but you